Hi, this is a video recap of our class August 1st. For today, we did listening test and a pronunciation test. At the beginning of the test, we talked about the listening practice that we did during the weekend. And then we discussed the 3 questions about make choices when we're shopping. After that, we did some vocabularies for the listening test. And during the break, Hayward gave us some suggestions about the PowerPoint. When we come back from the break, we reviewed several pronunciation rules. And then we went to the lab to do our pronunciation test. Well, when the class began, we spent a little time to talk about our listening practice that we did on weekend. Well, Hayward highly recommend the video, which the topic is Ken Robinson says schools kill creativity. Hayward said if you are an art student, you probably should watch it because this guy has some unique opinions about art education. Well, we spent 4 or 5 minutes on 3 questions. The first question: when you buy something, do you like to have a lot of choices? Why? Well, I found that most of the girls would like to have a lot of choices, but most of the guys don't need too much. Second question: how do you choose the items you buy? Well, some of us would like to purchase things on Amazon, others like to go to the store. The third question: does anyone help you to choose? Well, KK said his wife would help him to choose. I think that's really cool. Well, next, we did some vocabularies about the listening test. Hayward wrote them on a board and we figured out the meaning together. The first one, insistence, which means continual and persistent demands. And pinnacle means top of the mountain. Desire, a strong feeling that you want something. Essential means absolutely necessary. Anagrams means to change the order of the words. For example, reorder a word to another vocabulary. Amplify, to make more, means make more. Paradigm means a standard of typical example. Fallibility, the likelihood of making errors. Hospitality means being friendly or take care of somebody. Soda always means Coke. Procure means to get something. Assumption, for example, like people believe something but they can't prove. Well, after the vocabulary, we began the listening test. We watched the video one time and listened it 2 times, and then finished the questions. In a video, the speaker introduced that different cultural background affects people to make choices, and we did 10 questions about this video. After the listening test, we had a break during the break, Hayward gave us some suggestions to our PowerPoint. Hayward said that most of us had the same problems. Would better to use images and a complete sentence, like summary, to make our PowerPoint more visible, and we don't need to put a lot of informations and small details in one page because that would confuse the audience. And Hayward took camera's PowerPoint as an example. He said that his Transitions are cool, but make sure you practice your presentation. Make sure what's going on of the next step. Well, next we reviewed several pronunciation rules that we should pay attention on in a pronunciation test. Well, like the word stress, which is inside the words which is stressed. For example, birthday, birthday, and rhythm, like the example in well said that big cars and small cars and huge cars can create kind of difference. It's kind of rhythm. And focus words, usually like function words, verb and nouns, or the end of the thought group. Next is intonation, like the 5 rules posters on the wall. For example, the end of the WH question is always down, and the end of the beginning of the W question always rise, right? Like where are you going? Next is linking. For example, like wanna, gonna, could you. After these rules, we began to practice the test on well said with several minutes, and then we went to the second floor, the lab to record our pronunciation test.